everybody. Welcome to your Talking Fitchburg update on this Friday, October 30th, 2020. I'm Jeremy Crosby. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Andrew's off, enjoying some needed rest. And I've got the latest for you. We got a very busy show coming up for you today, so got to get right to it. We'll get you updated on the latest headlines, including talking about poll safety as you head out for in-person voting coming up on Tuesday, November 3rd. We'll break that down for you here in the headlines. Then we're going to talk with share the mayoral awards. Yeah, the 2020 mayoral awards came out on Tuesday night. We'll get it break down for you and hear from each of the winners coming up in our digest. And then a little bit later, it is daylight savings time coming up. So Fitchburg Fire Department's here to help us remember fire safety tips, including checking those smoke detectors and more. So we'll get all to that here in just a moment. But first, we do start with your headlines and the polling location change. Yeah, I want to remind you, if you are in District 1, wards 1 through 4, please note your polling location has changed. Your new polling location is Little John's Restaurant, located at 5302 Verona Road in Fitchburg. You can see that information on your screen. All right, as you do head to the polls on November 3rd, we want to make sure you stay safe out there. We've got a video to show you how the city is taking extra steps to keep you safe.
On Election Day, you'll notice some changes as you head to the polls. First, all election inspectors will be provided with masks and gloves to protect you and themselves during Election Day. Markers will be placed on the floor to indicate a 6-foot distance. This means as a marker becomes free, you'll be able to move on to the next marker. Voters can enter the polling location when the markers become available. Hand sanitizer will be provided to voters as they enter and leave the polling locations. Staff will be designated to clean all voting booths, badge your book screens, and pens after each use. Voters are strongly encouraged to bring their own ballpoint blue or black pens to mark the ballot. No felt-tip pens or markers are allowed. Each voting booth will be spaced 6 feet apart, and curbside voting will be available at your polling location. Remember, as you're heading to the polls, please wear a mask and practice social distancing at all times. Make sure to follow the instructions of the poll workers, and please be patient.
There you have it. We'll have full election safety and more coming up on Monday and Tuesday, and keep you up to date on what's happening at our polling locations. All right, finally want to tell you about road closure here happening. It's the McKee Road and Seminole Highway on Saturday, October 31st at 6 a.m. To 8 p.m. McKee and Seminole intersection will be closed for paving, so please be aware of that. And then on Monday, from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. eastbound McKee Road will be closed at Commerce Park Drive to Seminole Highway. Finally, want to make sure you take it safe this weekend when it comes to trick-or-treating, showing you this information on staying safe. Suggested hours for trick-or-treating, if you are participating, is 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Saturday, October 31st. Households wishing to distribute candy indicate by participating by turning your porch light or front light on. Please follow all the guidelines from Public Health in Madison and Dane County for safe trick-or-treating. All right, that does it for our headlines. Got to take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
We're exercising at the Fitchburg Senior Center. We do aerobics, balance, strength training, posture. We want you to stay healthy and strong and exercise. Keep on being fit.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg in the digest, and we're going to be talking about the mayoral awards. Yeah, we're going to break it down here and show you the big winners from this year's 2020 mayoral awards.
Thank you for joining me for the 2020 mayoral awards. My name is Aaron Richardson, Fitchburg Mayor. The mayoral awards were started in 2019 as an effort to recognize the residents, businesses, and staff that make Fitchburg a great place to live, work, and play. The mayoral awards are an opportunity to celebrate some of the many great people in Fitchburg. They are also an opportunity to bring the community together, though this year we are unable to have a reception because of COVID-19. This year we are honoring Francis Huntley Cooper, KL Engineering, and our Planning and Zoning Department. All of our award winners this year are leaders, innovators, and trailblazers. As you listen to their stories, I know you'll be as impressed by their achievements as I am. It is my honor to recognize these winners who have done so much to make Fitchburg a great place. Join me in congratulating these winners as you are inspired by their stories. This year, it is my honor to recognize Frances Huntley Cooper as the winner of the mayoral award given to a resident that has done a lot for our community. Frances served on the city council and was eventually elected mayor of Fitchburg, serving for 2 years in that role. She is the first African-American mayor in the state of Wisconsin. She is a trailblazer and a role model for countless others. Mayor Huntley Cooper is still very active in our community. She serves on the board of directors for Madison College, also known as MATC. She has been honored as a woman of distinction by the YWCA. She is a lifetime member of the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. She is a recipient of the Wisconsin Women of Government Women of Achievement. She was a founding member of the Madison branch of the NAACP of Dane County and served as their president. Mayor Huntley Cooper was selected as the inaugural winner of the Women Who Inspire Award, given out by the committee to celebrate the centennial anniversary of Wisconsin's ratification of the 19th Amendment. She's a longtime resident of the west side of Fitchburg with her husband, Al, and Fitchburg is very fortunate to claim Frances Huntley Cooper as one of our own. Thank you for the many things you have done for our community and continue to do. Please, everyone in the community, join me in congratulating Frances Huntley Cooper as one of the 2020 Mayoral Award winners.
Hey, thank you.
Your award right here.
Oh, that looks very nice. All right, that's nice. Thank you, Mayor Richardson, for this honor and being part of the second inaugural class of the Mayor's Awards, and people are making a difference in the city of Fitchburg and in the community, Dane County. I'm very touched by this because, I was sitting in your chair years ago, and just giving back to the community and being involved with people is such a great thing to do. It's really hard for me. That's why I'm not there with you today to accept that award in person because of the COVID-19 pandemic. But we still have to get work done, and that doesn't slow us down. I'm just trying to make good decisions about my health. And so I'm very appreciative that you allowed me to accept this from the comfort of my home. And one day I'll get out there and get my award. Sorry. But I can't accept this award without thanking the city of Fitchburg residents, the people in Dane County that I've had a chance to meet through the years. Being active brings me joy, brings me pride, gives me a purpose, in particular since I'm now retired for the past over 10 years. So I really enjoy what the county and the city does in terms of supporting the organizations, many of them that you named, and many others that are deserving as well. So thank you, thank the community, and I think people have had a chance to meet lifelong friendships that I've developed with people being involved. So thank you.
I am here with Kim Lobdell from KL Engineering. This year, we are recognizing KL Engineering in the business category. KL Engineering is an award-winning engineering company that was incorporated in November 1991, almost 29 years ago, and is incorporated by Kim Lobdell. Kim is a longtime Fitchburg resident and a leader in the engineering industry. As I was thinking about the things that connected our award winners this year, it was obvious one of those common elements was they are trailblazers in their field. KL Engineering is a trailblazing company for a number of reasons, and Kim will talk more about that, I'm sure. Being owned and led by a female engineer is something that is unique, and I'm guessing was even more unique 29 years ago. And for me, seeing the progress and the growth that they have and continue to have is really awesome and something that's fantastic to see, something that started here in Fitchburg, I believe, and has continued to grow and expand. KL Engineering specializes in transportation engineering, though they do a number of other things as well. They worked on many projects in Fitchburg, and they have over 70 employees and now 4 locations here in Wisconsin. Their Whitewater headquarters, though, are still here in Fitchburg. Kim Lobdell is a longtime Fitchburg resident. She has served the city in many different capacities. She's been an active member of the Chamber of Commerce. She was on the Plan Commission for many years and currently is providing her expertise on our Public Works Board. Please join me in thanking and congratulating Kim Lobdell and KL Engineering as this year's Mayoral Award winner.
Thanks, Aaron. I really appreciate it. So you gave a little bit of background in KL Engineering, so let me try to expand on that just a little bit. First of all, we're very honored and pleased to be in Fitchburg, and this will be our headquarters for many, many, many years to come. The City of Fitchburg, you guys have been a great partner through the growth of our organization. We really enjoy working with you. We think we have a great relationship. You can tell us when you need things. We can tell you if we need things. And I love the City of Fitchburg. It's just such a great community to live in and to grow up in and to have families, and we're getting a lot of services. I know I always complained to Mike Zimmerman, can we get a breakfast restaurant in Fitchburg? and lo and behold, that happened. But, the services are growing. We had to, when we first moved on the corner of Seminole Center Court, it was like you couldn't hardly find a place to go to lunch. And so I applaud the city for growing and all of the good things that they've done, and we're very happy to be here and really appreciate getting the award.
This past year has been very challenging for everyone. I can't express how grateful I am for the wonderful staff throughout the city of Fitchburg. Staff in every department throughout the city has gone above and beyond to continue providing exceptional service to residents of Fitchburg. I can go through every department in the city and talk about ways they have been able to adapt to the many challenges presented by the COVID-19 pandemic. Even though I can only recognize one area this year, I am indebted to all the staff throughout Fitchburg for the work they've done throughout this entire year. I have chosen to recognize the Planning and Zoning Department as this year's Mayoral Award winner. In the past year, they have updated the city's comprehensive plan, which really helps determine where Fitchburg will grow over the next decade. This was a very large undertaking, and they were given a very aggressive timeline by the council to accomplish this. Not only did they come through on time, but they also improved what we had previously to make the plan a lot easier to use and a lot easier to read. I think it's a plan that other cities should actually use as a template as they look to update their comprehensive plan in their community. And even though this was a huge task that took a lot of time, it was not the only thing this team accomplished this year. They continue to implement the Healthy Neighborhoods Initiative, which seeks to improve a number of neighborhoods in the northern part of Fitchburg. And those are areas that need some more resources. One of those areas and one of those initiatives is the Hub Initiative, and that's going to be just off Fish Hatchery Road. We're going to implement phase 1 of this Hub project in 2021. And that's with a lot of work, a lot of planning that Sonia and her staff has done for that. Also, the Planning and Zoning team is involved in bringing the O'Brien Solar Farm to Fitchburg. This is going to be the largest solar farm in Dane County, and the city is actually going to use some of the energy generated by this solar farm, and doing that is going to get us closer to our renewable energy goals. I know we've got a 25 by 2025 goal, and this is going to get us above and beyond that 25% of renewable energy that we want years ahead of schedule. And these are just some of the projects this team's been working on. And they're really all new, innovative ways of helping our residents and helping really our community. They're trailblazers in innovation for these and many other projects that they've worked on. And these are projects that are going to benefit Fitchburg for years and years to come. So please join me in thanking and congratulating the Planning and Zoning team. And I'll get your award as soon as I can. So, and we have Sonia, who is the head of the Planning and Zoning Department with us. So Sonia, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Aaron. What a great surprise. And our entire team is grateful for being recognized, especially the sort of innovative and longer term implications that you mentioned that were part of your consideration for this year. I've been with the city for about 2 years. And then, of course, want to just list and mention the other staff that have worked so hard and are deserving of this award, being Wade Thompson, our community development planner, Lisa McNabola, our associate planner, as well as Phil Groupie, our sustainability specialist. And we also have 2 part-time employees that serve as neighborhood navigators that work very closely with Wade Thompson on his Healthy Neighborhoods Initiative focuses. So with sort of that recognition of the various of our department team members, again, just going through some of the projects that we worked on in the last 2 years, really, our projects are so long-term and sort of ride on the coattails of previous staff and elected officials as well, having a really great foundation in planning and a lot of innovative measures to build off of has been great. Specifically, our really data-driven comp plan, the foundation of that was approved in 2009, and our SMART code areas, some really interesting things that Fitchburg does differently than a lot of our neighboring municipalities. Thank you, Mayor, again for the recognition. It's really appreciated, and we're very grateful. Like I said, it's so many times and so many calls. You can't make everybody happy, and so always dealing with those day-to-day things that might be difficult or takes a little bit of time to work with private property owners or developers, but knowing that there's always this longer term vision that we're working towards is great. And so recognizing the value of planning and understanding what planning is really nice. Thanks again.
There you have it. Congratulations to our winners. We have a special coming out tonight with the full interviews of each of the winners, and you can check that out on Fact TV, the comm channel. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Coming up next, we're talking about daylight savings and fire safety. Next right here on Talking Fitchburg.
Give your town a reason to celebrate, because every Goodwill item you bring home brings job training and more to your community. Goodwill. Bring good home.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me today from Fitchburg Firehouse number 3, 2, 1, 2. It's Adam Dorn, Fitchburg Fire Department. Adam, welcome back to the show, and glad you're out at station number Dose. Glad you're here as we get into the daylight savings time. There's just something in I can't remember off the top of my head. Something about the fire department, smoke detectors, and time of year. Maybe it's something we should talk about since I don't remember it. What do you think?
I think it's a good idea. I think it's a real good idea.
Yeah, as we do, and I think something that's been a staple of like stop, drop, and roll and fire extinguishers is changing and checking your smoke alarms at daylight savings. And this year I'm going to throw a lot of tough questions at you. So I hope you're prepared because I am.
Red, blue, and yellow.
All right. Well, that's over my pay grade. I have no clue. In all seriousness, why do we even check these smoke detectors? What are we looking for?
Well, let's start with this. According to FEMA, 3 out of every 5 home deaths, every time there's a whole death in a home, it results from fires in properties where there were no working smoke alarms. That's why it's so important.
It's a startling statistic, and there has been a lot more fire fatalities this year. And I'm waiting to see what that total number is, given we were at home. So, corresponds with being at home in fires, but it seems like deaths were up too. The smoke alarm, such a vital piece, and it's something so simple and so forgotten, but yet so important. What are we checking for when we definitely go into this time of year?
Well, one of the big thing that we're checking is to make sure that they work. A lot of times they're in homes and people don't check them, or they don't test them to make sure that the batteries are still active. That's the big thing. We want people to make sure that the smoke detectors work, because like that statistic said, we've got 3 out of every 5 people that die in home fire don't have working smoke detectors. That's your one thing to make sure that you can get out in a timely fashion. The only other thing that's better than a smoke detector is a sprinkler system. And if you have both of them, that's even better.
Yeah, the chances probably increase for not only your safety but property damage as well. So something we've talked about in the past, and I know this seems like could be a redundant in some ways because we talk about it so much, but it's so important, is that smoke alarms don't last forever. and I think that has been a huge message, especially since you and I started doing this to get that out more. So, it's one thing to check the batteries, but what about checking the dates on it, and where are we looking for those?
That's a great point, Jeremy. So smoke detectors do not last forever. We've been in many homes here in Fitchburg that there's still the original smoke detectors from when the house was built. Smoke detectors only last for about 10 years. After 10 years, you should be replacing them. And it doesn't matter if it's a standalone, where it's a battery operated one, or if it's hardwired, where you have it interconnected with other smoke detectors in the building. They only last about 10 years, and that's best case scenario. That's if you're checking them monthly, you're cleaning them out like you're supposed to, according to the manufacturer's recommendations. Those are the big things.
Yeah, the cleaning one, something you brought to my attention when we were talking about this last month, this month, I guess, earlier this month in the fire safety week. It's very interesting to me that the manufacturer says, that you do need to clean these out. Again, it's something out of sight, out of mind that you wouldn't necessarily know. What about if you, on top of the cleaning, if you have one near the kitchen area and it's gone off many times because of the style of cooking you're doing, is it one of those, like, if you've used it once, should it get put away, or get a new one essentially? What's the standard there?
Yeah, so the standard is that we don't want one in the kitchen itself, just for that reason, because there's steam in there. You might have some smoke from time to time if you're not paying attention to what you're cooking, or something gets away from you, right? Those kinds of things are expected. So it's not required to have a smoke detector in the kitchen. But there should be one nearby, maybe in the next room or just off in the hallway. Those are the places that it would be more beneficial to have it. But if you've had one in the kitchen and it has been going off and it's very sensitive, I would replace it. It would be beneficial for you to replace it. And then when you do replace it, maybe change the location of it so it's not in the kitchen. Like I said, maybe in the room adjacent to it, or down the hallway a little bit from it. That is probably your best bet.
Let's talk about placement. So if you are looking at adding more, what is the rule for smoke detectors in the house?
So it all depends on when your house was built. Some of the older homes, the code only requires a smoke detector outside of the sleeping areas and one on every floor of your home. So in some cases, that could mean there's only 2 or 3. I know in my parents' house where I grew up, there were 2 smoke detectors, one outside the bedrooms in the hallway and one at the bottom of the steps in the basement. That was it. All we had. I put in a couple more now for them just to make sure that they were a little bit better protected. Nowadays, they all need to be interconnected. So they actually all talk to each other. If one goes off, they all go off. And there's not only do you still need to put one on every floor of your residence outside of your sleeping area, but there's also a requirement for one to go in each bedroom, or each bedroom inside that sleeping area. So if you have 3 bedrooms and you have a ranch house, a single-story house, 3 bedrooms on the main level, and you have a basement, you actually need 5 smoke detectors. One for each of the bedrooms, one outside the bedroom in the hallway, and then one on the lower level.
And do we want these placed on the ceiling still, or should they be up high? Should they be, we've got the combination with the carbon monoxide, so maybe people are like, well, maybe I should put it lower. What is the standard there?
Yeah, great question again. Smoke detectors should be placed on the ceiling. They should not be placed like directly above the door. That's one of the worst places to put one because the smoke, while it does go up, it doesn't follow the exact pattern of the wall. So 3 to 4 feet inside of the room from the door is good, but they should be placed on the ceiling. If you have a vaulted ceiling, it's always best to put it at the highest point. Yes, that makes it a little bit of a pain to replace the batteries and all that stuff.
Yeah, I hope you're coming over to do that in my vaulted ceiling because I can't reach it.
Right. But that is where the smoke is going to go. That's where it's going to travel. So it makes sense to do it that way.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you talked about the interconnected. I was sharing with you that there are companies out there that sell what I would call noise detectors. So they don't have the smart technology. You know, you can be alerted to your phone that your smoker CO is going off, but these ones are listening for the smoke detector. Good or bad, what would be your initial thought on that and placement of those?
I personally haven't had any experience with them. I haven't researched them a whole lot. I know they exist. Personally, I still think the best way to go is a smoke detector and a carbon monoxide detector at the least. These other types of devices, while they work, you know, and I know some of them have the capability to send notices to your phone and this, that, and the other thing, which is great, but it also gives people an opportunity to just kind of go, oh yeah, it's that again. They can, because in some of these instances, you can silence the alarm and never leave your room and not know something really is happening. Because a lot of these smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors, it does not take much for the particles in the air to actually set off these detectors.
You guys the fire department do respond to quite a few alarms, give or take. Not a bad thing by any means, but definitely that is a very good perspective there. That if you silence it once, twice, and then 10 times over, is that, you know, having the traditional still probably pays off big time. Adam, thank you so much for going over all of this. Certainly, if more people want to find resources, where would you recommend they go?
Yeah. There's a number of places. You can start by going to our website, which is fitchburgwi.gov/fire. And you can look at the public education section of our website. There are numerous links there that take you to different safety topics. Some of the other big places to go would be nfpa.org. And you can also check out usfa.fema.gov. and look at the fire prevention and safety stuff there. Those are my go-to places when I'm looking for stuff, and they have spectacular material.
Yeah, that's where we got some of our stuff, some of the points we were talking about today. So nice to always have your perspective. Thank you so much. Stay safe out there, and please, everybody, do check those smoke detectors and CO detectors. Check those alarms as we do, well, we're going backwards, aren't we?
We are going
Getting
backward.
darker.
We got an extra hour of 2020 this year.
Oh, no, not more. Dorn, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Stay safe out there, and we'll catch up with you next time.
All right.
Yeah, something like that.
Thank you.
I don't know why he keeps coming back. All right, Adam Dorn, Fitchburg Fire Department. It's always a pleasure. Take a quick break. More to come. You're watching TF.
They gave me Vicodin after my knee surgery. I didn't know it would be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
Make sure you stay connected all weekend long and have a safe and happy Halloween.